Greetings and salutations, my excellent friends. Well, for the last few days, Joe and I have been running around like chickens with our heads lopped off. Man, I tell you what, trying to get married in another country is a lot of work. Not only have we been doing paperwork for the last few months, we've had to make trips to the embassy. And the reason why we're doing it just now is because in Chinese tradition, you look at when the bride and the groom were born, what year they are, what month they are, what time of day, to kind of pick the best luck day and time to get married. And for us, that's just around the corner, so we didn't want to do a lot of the paperwork ahead of time because some of it expires if you don't use it right away. And that tradition is not only within the Chinese cultural circles, but also here in Korea. But I digress. So yesterday we got up at the butt old crack of dawn, 5 a.m., went through the house, made breakfast, and then caught the bus into Seoul for our first stop at the U.S. Embassy. And we left here about 7 o'clock in the morning, got to the embassy right at 9 o'clock, and made it through security. And let me tell you, we didn't know how long it was going to take, so I brought all my school gear with me. So I have my computer, my cameras, everything I need during the day at school. And of course, going through U.S. security is a pain in the butt because they don't like computers, they don't like mobile phones, they don't like my mouse. It's a Bluetooth mouse, and they don't like it. They took that from me. But for some reason, they left my portable hard drive in my backpack and let me take that in. Makes no sense. Anyway, we go through security and we go to American Citizen Services and we fill out the documents there, get interviewed, and pay my $90 to have my documents certified. Now, since we were in and out in a little over an hour, we decided to make the trip to her embassy. Now, her embassy is maybe a half hour from the American embassy. And as we were in the security checkpoint getting back our stuff, she looked up and said, "Oh my gosh, there's our bus." And the security guards were actually quite impressed that she could see the bus numbers because the window's quite small, it's across the street, and they were really amazed by that. So we got our stuff, we hauled butt out across Gwanghwamun Plaza, and we missed that bus but caught the next one, rode around Seoul, and finally made it off at her embassy where we dropped off our paperwork. And that was a pain in the butt. Now, I will say this. The U.S. Embassy had their stuff together. You take a number, you wait for your time to be called, and you do it, and then however long it takes for your documents to be processed, that's it. Then you're out the door. Her embassy, not so much. They have certain different categories of assistance that they provide for citizen services. Now, their embassy, you hit the marriage button, you get the marriage number, and we waited, and we waited, and we waited. And still, no one was at the marriage window. So maybe after, I don't know, an hour went by, I was starting to poke Joe and said, "Go ask the information desk where the marriage guy is." And sure enough, the marriage guy was there, but he had no intention on coming out unless he was actually physically asked to do so. And the information guy did that. So then we spoke to him, we showed all of our documents that she needed, and then we waited and waited and waited and waited and waited. Then we went to the cashier after he gave us a receipt, and then we waited and we waited and we waited and we waited and we waited, and then we waited some more. I think we finished at her embassy around, oh man, maybe 1 o'clock, and then we beelined it back here at around, I think we finally got here about 2 o'clock, so we had to beeline it back up to my workplace. So that's what we have been doing. As it stands right now, we're all good to go for the wedding, and let me tell you, I can't wait. How has your days been running along? I want to know. Drop a comment below. We'll see you soon.